Hello and welcome to episode lucky number 7 of Full Throttle Infinitely Wide, the Motorsports Community Podcast. I'm Preston, joined by Mike and Ryan. We got
Hello.
no Craig nor Cody today, but Cody should join us hopefully next week, according to him. But we'll see what happens. And then Craig is just unavailable for reasons. um, but we got a 3-person crew today. How you guys doing?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there.
Monday.
Yep, it is indeed Monday. So in this episode, we'll be going over the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts race at Martinsville. Then we're going to talk about the F1 race in Japan. And then we're going to talk about the IndyCar race at Barber. And then finally, the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville. And then we've also got one more announcement that is kind of sad, but we'll save it for the end of this podcast. So anyway, let's get into the O'Reilly Auto Parts race at Martinsville. The winner, leading just 114 laps, was Justin Allgaier, to the surprise of probably very little people. I say that a lot, don't I?
Justin is a former winner there. It's not like he hasn't won there before, you know?
Yeah, and then how many cautions were there? It felt like a lot.
Yeah, it was a pretty. I wouldn't call it a smash 'em up show, but they weren't keeping it on track too well. There was some pretty aggressive racing.
Yeah,
even for Martinsville.
Typical Martinsville, you said, Ryan?
I was just asking Mike if it was just a tip.
It was typical Martinsville. It was a little bit. It went a little bit extra in a few cases, but typical Martinsville.
Yeah. And we saw some beef between Raja Caruth and Jesse Love.
Yes.
But
I sense there's going to be an ongoing rivalry between those two for some time.
I think I saw that in an Instagram post that they were chill, but I could be wrong about that. I might have read it wrong.
Well,
but,
not like a mean rivalry, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
A friendly rivalry.
Yeah. You got any more comments about this race, Ryan?
I didn't end up seeing it, so.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No, I didn't. This was the one I didn't see.
Yeah. And looking at the leaderboard here, it looks like 10 cars failed to finish the race. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was typical Martinsville, but it went a little extra. They weren't afraid to use the bumper, that's for sure.
It's Martinsville. You kind of have to.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there were some instances where it was a little unnecessary, but it was done anyway, you know?
Yep.
But hey, that's Martinsville. Sometimes it goes like that.
Indeed. So, shall I move on to the Japanese Grand Prix?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Admittedly, I fell asleep watching this for a little bit because of my work schedule and all that jazz. But when I did see of the Japanese Grand Prix for Formula One, I thought it was a pretty good race. If I remember correctly, we only had one safety car, period, and that was because Oliver Behrman had a really big crash. And thankfully he was all right. And the winner of the race was Kimi Antonelli. And joining him on the podium were Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc. Mercedes is quite a force this year, I will say. At this rate, I won't be surprised if they win the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, it's their first proper good win in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, Antonelli won Excuse me. It's been a long day. Antonelli had a nearly 14-second gap over Piastri. That's a huge lead, if you ask me.
Leclerc in third was pretty impressive to see too, considering how well the Ferrari cars themselves are great, but whoever is running their strategy department they need to get things in check because they're pulling some dumb strategy moves this year.
And of course, let's not forget the fall from grace that Red Bull Racing is having.
Oof.
Yeah, Verstappen finished 8th, and Hadger finished 12th.
Some would say they've lost their wings.
Way. And then we keep hearing rumors that Verstappen might retire from F1 at the end of the season. At least that's what I'm seeing in Instagram posts.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll retire until he has at least another good run.
Yeah.
Even if it's for another team, I feel like he'll be driving next year.
If he does leave F1 soon, I wonder where he'll go. Maybe he'll do like more GT racing or something.
Possibly. We might even see him in NASCAR. There's been
That'd be cool.
That Red Bull sponsored car showing up with various drivers throughout different races.
Yeah.
Was it Takuma Sato who drove it a while back? Not Takuma Sato. Someone drove a Red Bull car at the road course of Chicago that wasn't Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. Ryan, do you know?
Don't remember. I know what you're talking about because it was the Project 91 car, but I forget who was it that ran it.
I'm sure we'll figure it out soon.
Kamui Kobayashi. That's who it was? Yeah. It was the number... Oh, no. It was that number that I won't mention.
Oh, boy. With that out of the way, let's move on to the IndyCar race at Barber. This race was full course yellow free. I mean, we did have like a couple like instances of car contact, and one car did spin out, but no full course yellows here, and almost everybody finished on the lead lap. Only 4 drivers did not finish on the lead lap. 4 of them were 1 lap down. And to the surprise of probably nobody, Alex Palou qualified on the pole position and led 79 of 90 laps to win the race.
Yep.
And Christian Lundgaard led 10 laps, and Graham Rahal led 1.
I was going to say, it was not without a challenge to Palou late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a dominating win. He had to fight for it.
There was a possibility there at the end that Lundgaard possibly could have been right with him or been ahead of him on the last stop, but they had an issue on the rear wheel. They couldn't get the right rear wheel tight, and it cost him time. Lundgaard still was able to recover to finish second, but what could have been?
Yeah, it could have been indeed. I'm sure Lundgaard will get a win eventually. I mean, and by eventually I mean like sometime this season. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
So, Cup race?
Cup race.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cup race.
So, the Cup race at Martinsville wasn't nearly as much of a wreck fest as the O'Reilly Auto Parts race at Martinsville. and it looked like Denny Hamlin was gonna win it because he started on the pole in like 292 laps.
Hold on. What were we saying last episode about how
What?
Hendrick has to be good at basically their home track? They did manage to pull it off.
Yep, I was about to say.
Yes and no.
There was only one Hendrick car up the front.
I'll explain a little further here. Yes, at the end of the day, you look at the results sheet. They had 3 in the top 10 at the end, which is what we said they needed to do. Put most of their cars in the top 10 at Martinsville. Ideally, probably top 5, but 3 in the top 10 at the end of the race, including getting the win. All is fine. I'm still apprehensive to say that, and not to discredit the 9 team and what they did. Alan Gustafson made a gutsy call that worked for them, and then once Chase had the clean air, he just was able to maintain over Hamlin, and Hamlin tried, but his car got tight at the end of the run, it looked like, and he just could not run Elliott back down. But I'm still apprehensive with them because, yes, Byron and Larson were able to crawl their way back to the top 10.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
They still look shaky to me. While granted,
I get what you mean. It's less of they did good, but it's more of they were less crap than everyone else that day.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't even necessarily say that they were crap. It's just
not at their peak performance.
It didn't look. In other words, what I'm trying to say, it didn't look like a typical Hendrick Martinsville race. Like they're always near the front, and because at one point they had Elliott and Byron in the top 10, and Elliott slid back, and Byron was the only one running in the top 10. Larson was struggling, and Larson and Elliott both played little strategy plays that got them back up there. And then Elliott obviously was able to get further up front, and then they had a caution fell right for him, and when Hamlin's missed a shift on the one restart, he took advantage. So, I don't think they're out of the woods yet, but we'll see. I mean, momentum's a lot in the sport. You win one race or have a good run, and it can always shift momentum, so maybe this is all they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shane Van Gisbergen came really close to getting a top 10, but just fell a little bit short.
He is noticeably improving on ovals, though.
Yeah, he qualified 5th. And then, if I remember correctly, the first driver to spin out was Cody Ware, and then his spin actually made the stage end under caution. The first stage ended under caution.
The first stage ended up under. Well, it was Ware that spun first, and then Gregson with the first 2 spins. And again, their spins were basically just because of lap traffic trying to stay ahead of the lead, or cars either a lap down or 10 lead lap trying to stay ahead of the leader, and they get to racing, and contact gets made.
Yep. And at one point in the race, there was a really big pileup that resulted in 3 drivers DNFing. Those being Riley Herbst, Bubba Wallace, and Ty Dillon. And that was a pretty big pileup, if I say so myself.
But that whole deal actually started because there was a run-in between Karsten Hocevar and Bubba, and apparently Bubba took exception to the fact that Hocevar forced him 3 wide, and may have been a little payback involved in that. So, unfortunately, you had others caught up in it that should not have been caught up in it. least that's just what it appeared from what I saw, anyway.
Yeah. But all in all, I thought it was a decent race. How about you guys?
I enjoyed it. It was one of the first ones of the year that I actually sat and enjoyed watching like the entire race end to end.
Yeah.
Like it was. I've watched the other races this year, of course, but I'd always
But
like thrown away with commercials and all that, and
yeah, but you thought
wasn't really
Martinsville was
invested in it.
But you thought Martinsville was the most enjoyable so far.
Yes, the Daytona 500 was alright, but that's because Daytona 500. You're always gonna watch that one.
Yeah.
I'd say it was your pretty much your about usual. Well, maybe a little more entertaining, but it's about usual for what you see for a cup race at Martinsville. Granted, they had the new short track package at Martinsville.
That's mainly what I was interested in seeing how that package performed at a short track. Because I know they ran a similar package at Darlington, but that's not really a true short track.
Well, they ran it at Phoenix earlier this year as well, so.
I wouldn't really count Phoenix as a short track either.
Yeah, Phoenix to me is like always right on that line. Like it is, but it isn't. And so yeah, Martinsville I think would have been like the first true short track with this package.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it performed if they're going to use the same package at Bristol, because that's, despite being the same exact length, they're wildly different racetracks.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. Looks like that's going to do it for our, in terms of us talking about about races this weekend. But before we go,
hold on, I have one more thing to say. I just want to make this my estimate now, my statement. I'm going to say Van Gisbergen is going to get his first oval win sometime this year, at some point.
I'm hoping for that.
It's going to happen.
I think I'm going to back you on that one, Mike. I think SVG wins an oval race this year.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, before we wrap this up, we do have some sad news to share. Well, I should say, like, there is good news, but there's also a caveat. The good news is Ryan here is starting a new job. I can't remember what kind of job it is, but it's a new job.
Just warehouse materials handler is actually what it's considered, but
yeah.
Warehouse work, basically.
And the caveat with that is that because of his schedule regarding said job, this could very well be his last episode of the podcast. Unless
I will say, I guess the caveat would be for now.
Yeah.
Because who knows, down the road my hours may change at the new job. It's just the starting hours I'm going to have, unless we're recording this, after 10 o'clock at night, which is going to be hard because where I live with my mother and my stepdad, and they get up early. It's like I don't think I'd be able to be talking like this. So that's the unfortunate thing, but who knows? We may meet further down. There may be maybe in the future, just not the immediate future.
Yep, you never know what the future holds till the future hits you with it.
Indeed, Mike.
Sometimes it's across the face. Sometimes it's just handed to you.
Yep. But it really has been a pleasure recording with you, Ryan. I'm very grateful for you helping me out with this project. And as I said in a private message, I'm really going to miss recording with you, and hopefully we'll get back to it soon. Hopefully we can adjust the recording schedule to in a way that fits your work schedule. Fits into your schedule outside of work. I don't even know what that sentence was, honestly, but you know what I mean.
Like I said, I'll keep you posted, and obviously I'll still be doing my streaming on Twitch of reacting to the Cup races because I'll still have Saturdays and Sundays free. But my evenings are going to be pretty much because it's an afternoon shift from 2 to 10, so it's going to be.
It'll be tricky, but we'll figure it out.
It'll be tricky, but I'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
Yep.
I just like that it's a new opportunity, and who knows? Who knows what might happen down the road?
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So anyway, I think we'll wrap this up. We've covered pretty much everything we need to talk about. Thank you again, Ryan, for being part of this team. And to those of you listening to this podcast, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you next week with episode 8 of Full Throttle Infinitely Wide, the Motorsports Community Podcast. So take care.
Yep.